Okay. So I'm going to go now? Perfect. Thank you so much for joining the Sue Fries Show, and I'm very thankful. And always, as always, I feel so blessed and so fortunate to be on this show with you. It's just amazing. It really is. 16 years on air. Many different stations are broadcasting this show. And every week, I'm just thinking to myself, what is the message that needs to go out that will change your mind, help you with a decision you need to make, for you to feel not alone and isolated, but to feel supported and to realize that you're not alone. And there's places you can go and people that you can talk to that are going to help you and guide you, but you need to ask. And this show is about the pursuit of passion, purpose, and connection. And to me, that's such an important thing. When a long time ago, Bob Hastings asked me, he said, I really think you're supposed to have your own show. And I thought he was crazy. And I'm glad I was already in a seat. And I just said, all right, I'm working 16-hour days. How am I going to fit that in? What am I going to talk about? And what do I call it? So the original thought I had was many other things besides the Sue Fries Show. But everybody agreed that the Sue Fries Show should be what it's called. So Sue Fries, spelled like fries, one word.com. Right now, I have my son and Daniel, my other son, my adopted son. They're driving to Santa Maria. It's a 3-hour drive because they need to talk to a couple of employees that we have up in Santa Maria to try to get a gist on what's going on and how we can do better and all of those things. And so I just want to give a shout out to my son Tyson and my other son Daniel, just to know that my thoughts are with you, and I believe that what's supposed to happen is going to happen, and that's okay, and that's good. Another thing is that we are about 18 minutes late on the show, and I promoted it, and I'm just saying that I believe there's a reason for everything, and I believe that the message today is so important that there were forces out there that were wanting it not to happen. But I'm really thankful for the producer, the editor, everybody that is in the other room that is making this happen. I just want to give a shout out to you and tell you just how thankful I am for both of you for jumping in there and making it happen. So, it takes a team. It takes support. It takes people that care and want to be part of what we're doing in order to make it happen. So the message today is an interesting one because I just finished and published a book, and I'm going to put it up on Facebook Live, Facebook Sue Fries Show, and YouTube is live also. And so I put it up here so you can see. I'm very, very happy with the cover of it. And it's called Why Am I Here? So for a moment, and it's our God is a God of second chances because he is truly a God of second chances, sometimes third, fourth, fifth, sixth, right? I mean, those of you that have had a second chance, you understand. It's amazing to have that second chance. And this was inspired, and I, for 2 weeks straight, I could not stop thinking, typing, getting this out. It's not a big book. It doesn't take long to read, and it's well worth it. I'm going to read the back of it. It says, "Why am I here?" And before that, like in my mind from 12 years on, I would look up and I would say, who am I? No, who am I really? And why am I? Why am I here? And then I would say, it's got to be more. It's got to be more than this, meaning what I'm involved in now, what I'm doing. And that was something that stuck with me for a very long time because I wanted clarity on why am I breathing air? Why am I taking up space here on this earth? There's got to be a reason more than just doing this, doing that, going to sleep, eating, driving, doing this, it's just there's got to be more to it. So may I ask you, when you have a moment, to stand in front of your mirror. Just stand there. And I want you to ask yourself, who am I? And wait for a second and think about it. Then I want you to answer your own question. Who are you? Who am I? Sorry. I've got my phone on silent, but it's still vibrating. Who are you? So just say, who am I? And then answer your question. Answer the question. Who are you? And then I want you, once you get that, and take some time and list everything. Just lay it out there in your mind, and as you hear yourself speak, please do this. Figure out if you go negative or go positive, because that's your barometer in life of how you believe about yourself, about others. Do you tend to go negative or you tend to go positive? And I think this is so important to understand where you are right now, where you are in your life, where you are spiritually, where you are emotionally, where you are physically, where you are financially. And there's other areas in which we need emotionally. Emotionally is so important. But where are you right now? And then ask yourself this question. Where do you see yourself 5, 10 years down the road? Where do you want to go? Any roadmap, any nav, you have to, like you go to a shopping mall. Okay, this is the most clear I can get. You go to a shopping mall and you're trying to figure out a store. You want to go to a store or a restaurant. And you're looking at this map and you're going, okay, well, first of all, I need to know like where I am. Where am I right now? And this is the same thing, right? You want to get to that store or that restaurant. You want to get to a certain location or a goal. And you have to know where you are currently. You are here is what it'll have in the map. You are here. You have to know where you are currently, and you have to know where you want to go. And then you work backwards to figure out how you're going to make that happen. And the more defined and clear you are on what it is or where you want to go or what you want, the clearer you are on that, the less simple it is to get distracted, to get off course. If you're clear, if you're truly clear, clarity is so important in our lives. Did I know at 17 years old that I was going to write, this is my 4th book. Did I know at 17 when I was trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life, what college am I going to go to? Am I going to go to college? Oh my gosh, so many decisions to make. And I felt like I needed to make them all right now. So any of you that are in that, I understand that totally. And you don't have to make a decision that affects the entire rest of your life. But choices we make all along the way will determine this course. Can we pivot? Of course. I'm a dancer. We have to pivot. I'm a business owner. We have to pivot. As a person in relationships, we need to pivot. Such a great word. After you've got done with your negatives, positives of who am I, and you've defined which way your brain, your belief system goes. See, we can change this. This is the beauty in all of this. Then ask yourself in the mirror, you're looking in the mirror. I'm going to do it right now. Okay, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm saying, why am I here? Why am I here? So right now I could say, why am I here in this seat with this microphone talking to you? Why am I here? Why have I been chosen to sit here and deliver a message to you? I'm being asked to speak on stage. And I ask myself the question, why are they choosing me to go talk on stage? And what happened in my life up to this point that is giving me a message worth listening to on the radio, in a book, on stage? Being a business owner with 80 employees. Why am I? Why am I put in that position? Is it fun all the time? Heck no, it's not. You know, people have personalities and they're all different, right? And we have to, in our lives, we have to pivot. We have to try to understand more than be understood. We have to, we don't have to, but if we really we're desiring to be a light in the darkness, which is part of why I'm here, is to be a light in the darkness. That's part of me. That's who I am and why I'm here. I want to bring light to darkness. I want people to understand who they are and why they're here so that they stay on course, so that they get better. We are designed and created for a purpose. So to be better in whatever we were designed and created for, to get better at that is we need to understand what that purpose is, what part and role we play. And as things come up, like this show not being on time, I have a decision to make. Am I going to get upset about it? Do I have control over it? No, I don't. There's a lot of things in our lives we get anxious, we get anxiety over. And in the Bible, it talks about be anxious for nothing, but in everything, with prayer and supplication, bring all your requests to the Lord with thanksgiving up to the Lord. And He will direct your path. But He's telling us what to do. He's saying, like, you feeling anxious right now? You're feeling upset? You're feeling anxious? Usually it's because you have no control over the situation. And it's needless worry. It's needless anxiousness because you don't have control over the situation. But, and there's however, you do have the ability to make a choice on whether you're going to continue to be anxious, acknowledge it, understand, are you fearful about something? Is something happening that's causing you to lose control? And then ask yourself, what part of this are you playing? And what part of this do you have some control over? What is it that you can do something about? This is so crucial. You are listening to the Sue Fries Show. Sue Fries, spelled like fries, like French fries, .com. Sue Fries, spelled like fries, one word, .com. My son always laughs when I say that. I think that just by answering these questions, and you know, your answers are going to change with time because you're going to get better. You're going to get better, more precise, more clear on direction. And as you get that clarity and that discernment and that wisdom to know choices that you're making, how they affect not just you. Our decisions, our actions, good and bad, affect other people. I'm going to be, in a little while, I'm going to be on stage speaking to the #1 first Leadership Academy Leadership Development Program. And they've asked me to kick it off. And I've got 45 minutes to speak. And I'm asking myself, what are the most important things that I could bring on that stage to deliver to my competitors? By the way, it's my industry, pest control, termite control. It's my industry I'm speaking into. So I'm speaking into my competitors. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I'm speaking into my competitors. Why? Because the win-win is as people get better, our industry shines brighter. And as we get better, we do better for our customers, for our families, the environment. And that's important to me, to speak into people. And God uses the experience as He does with you. You have experiences. You've been through lots of things, I'm sure. Lots of things, good and bad. And we have decisions on how we look at those things. What do we take from those things? Are you a victim or victorious? I'm victorious. I have victory. And even when things are coming at me, I can get all worked up over it, or I can say, what do I have control over? and then I'm going to move on those things. Another thing that I realized is that why am I here? There were a lot of choices I've made, good and bad, that have created this understanding I have. And one thing that I realize with other people when I don't understand why they don't take action. I get frustrated with people when I feel like, wow, we've got all this that we could do, but yet you're choosing not to. And I'm like going, wow, what is that all about? And then I ask myself, is it fear? False evidence appearing real is the acronym for fear. And in the Bible, fear not is in there 365 times. Isn't that interesting that God tells us every day to fear not? Because what does the devil want? He uses fear as one of his biggest ploys, to have us step back, to not lean in, to not raise our hand, to say, me, pick me. And something I've done is I've allowed myself to be uncomfortable. Am I going to be uncomfortable getting on that stage with all my peers and talking about leadership development? Am I going to be uncomfortable? I'll tell you right now, yes, I am. Do I feel called to do that? Yes. Do I think that I have something to offer? Yes. Why do I think that? Because I've been through a heck of a lot. I've been in business for 40 odd years, 44 years in this industry. I've been through A-L-O-T, a lot. And with those school of hard knocks, with those wakeless, sleepless, blood-shedding nights, did I learn anything? And if I can share a story, if I can spread some wisdom and discernment, and I can help somebody else have less sleepless nights, if I can help people progress quicker than I did, then that's a good thing, even if they are a competitor of mine, right? Yes, I think so. Pay it forward, right? And we're called to do that. And loving thy neighbor, we're called to do that too. And let me just ask you, who's your neighbor? Who's your neighbor? So getting back to this book, Why Am I Here? God is a God of second chances. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to read a little something here. Why am I here? I'm going to give you a little taste of this book, okay? Okay. For years, I thought my purpose was just to build a business and provide for my family. I am a mother of 2 beautiful children and the proud granddaughter. I'm sorry, the proud grandmother. I hope you edit that. Of 4. They are my heart. But even with all the blessings of family and career, I still felt something missing deep inside, a longing for meaning that couldn't be filled with titles, money, or recognition. This happens to people when they hit a certain amount of success, because that seems to be the focus for a very long time, is success. But once you reach success, and everybody has their own definition of what success is, correct? You have a definition, I have a definition. And once we reach that, then what? Now it's, I want to have significant impact. I want to impact others in a significant way. And what would be my way? What would be something that I could bring to the table and help people be impacted and maybe change a direction, a trajectory? Maybe it's something where they're on the verge of making a terrible, terrible, terrible decision, and it could change so many people's lives in a negative way. And maybe just by hearing the Sue Fries Show or reading my book, I could help someone change their course and do something different that would be better and more in alignment with their purpose on this earth. That something missing was my why. And friend, you have one too. God didn't place you here by accident. Every breath you take is proof that He has a plan for you. A plan bigger than your current circumstances, bigger than your past mistakes, and bigger than your fears. I always say, as long as there is breath, there is hope. And there's a true statement, isn't it? When you understand why you're here, everything changes. Your work takes on meaning, your relationships deepen, your challenges become stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. But finding your purpose begins with seeking the one who created you. Maybe you've asked yourself, why am I here? When life didn't make sense, when you lost a loved one, when a dream crumbled, or when you faced a battle, conflict, or circumstance you didn't think you could survive. I've been there. In those moments, God whispered to my heart, you're here because I made you for a reason. You're here because you have a part in my story. I'm preparing you for your next assignment. And that is the biggest message I could give you. And this is only on page 2 of this book. It is so good. And I'm not saying that because I wrote it. I'm saying it because it's just filled with love and guidance and discernment and directional course. And I just really highly recommend it. If you want it, tell me. Go to Sue Fries, spelled like fries, one word. Go on the website and tell me you want to get a book. And I will autograph it and I will send it to you. So go on there and do that. Or you can go on to Amazon and order it on Amazon. It's already a top seller. And I'm just so grateful for that. I really am. So on the back of this, it says, why am I here? God is a God of second chances. What do you believe? Who are you? And why are you here? These questions are more than words. They are the compass that guides our lives. When we truly understand our purpose on this earth, everything changes. Our beliefs shape our choices. Our choices shape our responses, and our responses ripple out to touch every person we meet. In these pages, I share with purposeful vulnerability, inviting you to pause, breathe, and listen to the lessons life is always teaching. Growth requires intention, awareness, and perseverance. Like climbing a steep path, this book is an invitation to slow down, lean in, and make an impact that echoes beyond your lifetime. And this is the back of the book. It's just explaining kind of what's inside. I highly recommend this book. Anywho, I hope this segment has been really, really informative to you. I hope it's helped you. And I just hope and pray that you reach out to me and tell me what's going on in your life. If you need prayer, if there's anything you need, I'm resourceful. I don't have all the answers for sure. So be a blessing, and we will be back with part 2 right after this brief break.
When I was 2 years old, I had a life-threatening asthma attack.
And as a mom, I was worried. It was a big reason for pioneering our eco-friendly pest and termite treatments. With our dynamic selection of non-chemical and alternative treatments, we achieve effective results that fit the concerns for the health of your families, children, pets, and the environment.
From San Diego to San Luis Obispo, when you have a pest problem, call today. Ecola, powerful termite and pest control.
As gentle as a butterfly. Thank you so much, Ecola Termite and Pest Control, for sponsoring this show. I'm so grateful to you, Ecola. And Ecola is hiring, and I just want to say it's a great place to work. We have 7 offices. We cover from San Diego, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino. These are all offices we have. Then we have Mission Hills, which is corporate headquarters, which when you decide to come with us, if you want a new career, not a job, Mission Hills is in San Fernando Valley, and it's 2 weeks. You come for training, and then you go back to your office and get going, start making money and helping all these customers that need your services and your help. Then we have an office in Oxnard. We have an office in Orcutt, which is right below Santa Maria. So we come from San Diego all the way up to like Los Osos. So we cover a very large area. And we are a top 100 pest control company in North America, not in California. In all of North America, we're in the top 100. Don't pinch me, don't wake me up. I'm so excited about that. And it's just about having a great team and doing what is necessary and above and beyond. And we have core values that we stick to, and we just would love to talk to you if you want to. So you can call 877-332-BUGS, which is numbers 2847, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Or you go on the website termitelady.com, and we will. You can fill out an application there and then send it in, and then call us and say, did you receive my application? And I would like to talk to you. And you have to have a great attitude and a clean driving record if you're going to work out in the field driving a vehicle. If you're going to be in the office, we're in Mission Hills, San Fernando Valley. I have people that'll say, oh yeah, I want to work for you, and I'm an office person, and they're in San Diego, and that doesn't work because we don't have office staff in our outside locations. The call center is all in one location, and it's where I practically live. Anyway, so that being said, I'm hoping that you know somebody that might need a new career, and it's a great career. We never stopped during COVID. We were an essential company. The bugs, they're going to be around forever. And so it's kind of recession proof. And it's a trade. It's a trade. You don't have to go to college for it, although we do have continuing education and whatnot. And we can tell you all about that and explain how it all works. And we would love to do that. I'm going to read something to you that I think is really pertinent. Now, this is from a book called Jesus Calling. It's by Sarah Young, who has gone to be with the Lord. But this book is Jesus talking to you. And I open this up in the day that I'm on, and it's so relevant to the message that I prayed about and that God wanted me to talk about. And so I'm going to read this right now, and you tell me if it doesn't resonate with you, okay? And this is Jesus talking directly to you. Are you ready? Do not let any set of circumstances intimidate you. The more challenging your day, the more of my power I place at your disposal. You seem to think that I empower you equally each day, but this is not so. Your tendency upon awakening is to assess the difficulties ahead of you, measuring them against your average strength. This is an exercise in unreality. I know what each of your days will contain, and I empower you accordingly. The degree to which I strengthen you on a given day is based mainly on two variables: the difficulty of your circumstances and your willingness to depend on me for help. Try to view challenging days as opportunities to receive more of my power than usual. Look to me for all that you need and watch to see what I will do. As your day, so shall your strength be. I've never heard that before, and I didn't realize this. So this is really good. And so right now for me. So I like to give scriptures, and in the book, it gives you scriptures that coincide with what I just read. And here's one scripture. It's Ephesians, one of my favorite all-time books. Ephesians 1:18-20, if you want to know the address. I pray also that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of his glorious inheritance in the saints, and his incomparably great power for us who believe. That power is like the working of his mighty strength, which he exerted in Christ when he raised him from the dead and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly realms. Can you picture that? The visual is right there. He just describes it so well. Psalm 105:4, look to the Lord and his strength, seek his face always. And the last one, Deuteronomy 33:25, your sandals shall be iron and bronze as your days, so shall your strength be. This is so good. It's his strength. Seek his face. When things get so tough, and believe me, they do, and they have, for me, and I'm sure for you, that when things get so tough and you realize this is more than I can handle, this is truly, have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt that things are just more than you can handle? But then guess what? You handled it. Did you do it alone? I know I'm not doing it alone. I don't give me the credit, because I reach out and I want the Lord to be guiding me, directing me. I want to feel with his heart. I want to see with his eyes. I want to speak what he wants me to speak. I want to walk. I want my steps to be his steps. I want to go where he wants me to go. And sometimes it's not in alliance with what I want. Did you hear that? It's not in alliance sometimes. I'm like, no, I want to go there. I want to do that. And then God's saying, no, I want you to hold back. I want you to wait on me. I want you to be still and know that I am God. That's the hardest thing for me. I'm just being real. To be still and know that I am God. And I've been doing this a while. So don't beat yourself up over that if you're not there yet. I am so thankful God's not done with me yet. There's no holes in my hand. And I'm so thankful. This is a journey, and we're in it together. And as long as we're desiring his heart and we're desiring his will in our lives, if we're desiring that and we pay attention, okay, sometimes we can close this off. The frequency waves, the spiritual realm, we can close it off because we're just like, nope, I got this one. And when we do that, we're going to miss something. I don't want to do that. I don't want to miss it. And when I was in labor, I prayed, and this is really true. This was my daughter, because my first one, Tyson, he took 16 hours, and it was long and grueling and exhausting to where I begged the doctors to cut him out of me. And I can't believe I said that. I must have been in a lot of pain because I don't like any knives on me. I don't want to get cut. I want to not do it that way. I want to do it naturally. And I did. But I was begging them because I was in so much pain. And God doesn't allow us to remember that pain. Because if he did, this is funny, moms, but it's true. If we really remembered the pain that it was to go through natural birth, I don't believe we would ever have number 2. So with number 2, I prayed. I waited a long time because the first one, they strapped me down to a table and it was back labor and it just was horrible. With the second one, my daughter, I stayed home as long as I could so they didn't have access to strap me down to anything. And I got there and I'm in the restroom because they told me to go do that. And I went in the restroom and I prayed. I said, God, make it fast and hard. I can take it. Just make it fast and hard. And boy, did he. Did he. I'm so glad that button was in the bathroom, and I'm not going to go any further. But he did it. And I much prefer fast and hard than long. And I'm telling you that because it's true. I can take it. It's that type of thing, But, I shattered my leg, and the healing of shattering your leg when you've got a metal plate, 10 pins in your leg in 2011 off a horse, another story for another day, I had to learn, and I had to learn how to ask for help. I could not do things on my own, so I had to learn for help, which is not something to ask for help, not something I do on a regular basis. You're listening to the Sue Fries Show. Sue Fries, spelled like fries, oneword.com. Connect with me, please. Go there. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you need, and I'll do what I can to help. And if you need prayer, I will pray for you, and no one opens them up but me. So getting back to this time when I shattered my leg and I had to ask for help. Ask for help to get my cup of coffee, my tea, to fix my pillows, to get me to the restroom, to ask for help to get me in and out of the shower. I had to ask for help. I couldn't do anything on my own. Taking medication, remembering when to take what. I had to trust those that were there for me to make sure that I got what I needed when I needed it. Because, yeah, I did. And it was a long time. It's not something where, oh, that's okay, I'll be ready, in a month. And it took a lot longer than that. And during that time, I learned a lot of valuable lessons. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm making this speech, like I talked about in part 1. I have a speech where I'm going to be on stage talking to my peers in the pest and termite industry about how important it is to develop your leadership skills. And in that, part of it is learning that you have to give. You can't do it all. You can't do it all. And you might think that this other person won't do it as well as you, and you're probably right 9 out of 10 times, but you can't do it all. So what I realized, and this is really important for you leaders out there, now this is important in all aspects of life, motherhood, being in ministry, being a business owner, woman, man, anybody, is that there's certain gifts that you were given that are for you to do, and that only possibly you can do them. And then there's things that you do that you're stealing the joy for somebody else to do it, and that probably is gifted and probably could do a better job than you. Think about your things that you do, and think about what you could let go of to give somebody else that joy. And as you do that, it frees you up to do more of what God has created you to do. Now, in management, when you're in management, you tend to take on more because you want to get it done. You want to get it done right now. And what happens is you get overwhelmed and you have too much on your plate. And then you have to decide, okay, you have to train them. You have to teach them, which takes longer. It does. It takes longer to train somebody else to do it, but you're investing. And when you invest in somebody, eventually they get it. And when they get it, they got it. And when they've got it, then you give it. Oh, I love that. That just came to me. Give it. Oh, I forgot what I said. I'm going to have to listen to my show now. That was so super. I'm going to write that down. It's going to be a saying of mine. Anyway, you give it. When they've got it, you give it to them. And then you watch over it. You can't just let it go and just assume. We don't assume. We have to check and balance. We have to make sure that that person has actually got it and they're going to continue to do it right, that they're not going to look for a shortcut. They're going to do it and they're going to do it right. How do you do that? You check and balance. You check and balance. You skim. You check periodically just to make sure that they're doing everything as you taught them. And if there's any variance, you quickly correct it or ask the question, is this a better way? If it's a better way, that's great. Then we get everybody on board to do it a better way. So during this time, I realized that I couldn't do it all because I'm laying there on the couch and I have to heal. Now I can't walk. I atrophied so bad in my right leg with that metal plate, 10 pins, that it took me a long time. And I had to learn how to walk all over again. I had to get my brain started on heel to toe on foot. And because, when you're little, you learn how to walk when you're really, really little. And you don't really break it down, do you? You don't break down your walk. You walk. And at this time, this is the positive side of me, and this is a side that I think people need to be working on quite a bit, because I think we tend to go negative too much, is I thought, I got to learn how to walk all over again. Now the muscles needed to rework. They needed to get stronger, and I had to make sure that I'm rolling my foot, and I had somebody there that was watching because I didn't know what I looked like when I walked. I just was trying to make my leg work and make my knee work, and everything was working. And she'd say, no, roll your foot. You got to put your heel down first and then roll your foot all the way to your toes. And that just seemed so awkward to me. And I realized at that time, I did not like my walk. Before my accident, I didn't like my walk. I felt it was bouncy. I see guys and I'll see them bounce, like they go on their tiptoes and they bounce. Or they have this walk that says, I'm not confident. Or they have this walk where they think they're all that. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. But I didn't like my walk because I wanted to strut. I wanted to be more graceful. I wanted to be like a dancer's walk, maybe more like a ballerina walk, but with power. I want a ballerina with power. And I kind of, in my mind, created what I wanted it to look like. And so I told her what I wanted it to look like, and she helped me with my walk. Now, people don't say anything about my walk, but my walk says a lot about me. I walk quick. My steps are quick. I step quick. Why? Because I'm a quick person. I think quick. I act quick. And I think in leadership, we do need to make decisions quick. Not always. We need to gather information as much as we can, but we can't hold off too long, because I'm finding that the longer I wait to make a hard decision, the worse things get. This thing that I talked about at the very beginning with Santa Maria, I waited too long and it caused more harm. Just like termite, I tell people, if you need a termite, I'm getting off subject, but not really. If someone knows that they have a termite issue, waiting, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. It just gets worse. And when it gets worse, it costs more and it takes more time to correct it. And I say in relationships, the same thing. It's parallel. We can just jump this fence right now and go personal. In your personal relationships, if you know there's an issue, do you just slip it under the rug and think it's going to go away? If you have a conflict and you don't address the conflict, then what happens? Does the conflict go away? Heck no, it doesn't go away. We need to address these things, and sooner's better than later. Because when we don't do that, we assess the situation, we come up with our own belief system on what's going on. Either the person doesn't care, or maybe they're just so ignorant they don't see it, or maybe they're just not aware. Okay, make them aware. Have that conversation, that tough conversation. I have a podcast, a radio show that I did a long time ago called The Fierce Conversations, the ones that you put off, and you put off. And then when you finally get the courage to actually have that conversation face on, sitting there face to face, and you have it and you're going, what in the world? I waited so long to have that conversation and it wasn't that hard after all. And maybe we need a little more time, to process how we're going to say it. What are we going to say? Timing. They need to be fed. They need to, be rested. We want to pick our times wisely to have those fierce conversations, and that's true. But waiting doesn't help. And I'm getting that message again today, okay? Waiting did not help. And when you allow bad things to happen continually, it causes other people to feel like they can jump on board, or they lose traction or care of their situation with you. So in business, you want to make sure that you take care of issues as quickly as possible. Oh, I had one this morning where I asked somebody if they were clocked in, and they said no, because it would have been too early. They're supposed to clock in at 7:30, right? This sounds so simple, doesn't it? It's a simple thing. But they're supposed to clock in at 7:30. And this person, I said, are you clocked in yet? Oh, no. And then I go and find out they were clocked in. Okay, that is considered a lie to me. And I'm like, I went back and I addressed it with the employee. And I said, if you ask me a question, I guarantee you can depend on that I'm going to give you a truthful answer. No matter what the cost, I'm going to give you a truthful answer. I said, I expect that from everyone that's going to be in my environment, working with me in relationship, is that if I ask a question, I need truth. Because if you don't have trust in a relationship, and this goes for ministry, goes for home life with your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, with your friends, and at work. And we call this, it's our number one core value at Ecola, integrity. We call it integrity. Integrity means that your word is your word. I can depend on what you say because I know that you're committed to being a truthful person. Integrity is so vitally important. My reputation is so important to me. If somebody if they attack my integrity, if they attack that, they find a new Sue. They will discover a new Sue. Why? Because I hold that so strongly close to me, because it's so vitally important to the health of why I'm here, what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm doing what I can to be a person of my word, that people can depend on me, which dependability is number 2 with Ecola. Number 3, customer service above all else. I don't know if I've got them in the proper order because I put them to where the longer ones are at the bottom, just because I like the look of it. Respecting each other. Everybody respects each other. And if we don't respect each other, why? Why don't we respect each other? Respect is a big deal, okay? There are people that can cause me not to respect them, but I always start out respecting and trusting people until they give me reason not to. I think that's fair. But if people disrespect me and I don't believe I've given them a reason not to respect me, then I'm just going to call it out. And I want to know, though, see, because I'm learning. I'm always learning. And I think that as a leader, we have to be teachable. And it's imperative that we're humble. And, part of humble is asking for help. It's not, I'm not all that. I am what I am. And I do what I do. But I'm not all that. I put my pants on just like everyone else. And I think it's important that, I will say that I have people that'll say, there's people intimidated by you. And I'm like, I don't want people to be intimidated by me. I want them to feel my light and my love and my acceptance. That's what I'm desiring. So if someone's intimidated, I have to question, what is it I'm doing that's causing that intimidation? And I don't want to be perceived that way. I don't. I want to be approachable. I want to be somebody that someone could ask me a deep question and know that I would give quite a lot of care to my answer and response to that question. I did bring this book up, and I just want to bring it up as a reminder again. Why am I here? God is a God of second chances. It's on Amazon, or you can go to Sue Fries, spelled like fries, one word, .com, and I will autograph a copy and send it out to you. So reach out to me, connect with me somehow. And again, I just want to say that Ecola Termite Pest Control is hiring. We'd love to hear from you if you'd like to have a new career or a career with us. We would love that. God bless you. Be a blessing to someone each and every day. Bye for now.